Marko here from Fair Realty, Victoria, BC. I'm standing inside a studio that I own downtown Victoria. I recently re-rented it and I wanted to talk about cash flow numbers. This unit I bought 6 years ago for $279,000. I've had a number of tenants in those 6 years. Obviously there's wear and tear over time, but whenever a tenant moves out, I try to fix as many things as I can. For example, when this tenant moved out, I'll post a photo. There was a large chip in the kitchen here. It would have been very expensive to get this professionally repaired. So what I did is I bought this $14 black bracket on Amazon. It's designed to hang kitchen cloths. I installed it myself and it looks like it belongs to the original kitchen. I'll show you a bit more of the unit. Here I had a closet organizer installed a few years because what the original developer installed was not very useful. It's got a small bathroom over here, glass shower. It's small, but it's nice and clean. In-suite laundry. It's a small unit. It's only 392 square feet. There's a Murphy bed over there, but nice and clean and a great location downtown. I was able to re-rent this for $1,650 per month. The market value of this unit is it has no parking. Condo prices downtown Victoria have dropped. It's approximately $300,000. So if you put down 20% and took out a mortgage for $240,000, let's say at 4.2, 4.3%, you're looking at around $1,200 a month for the mortgage, $250 for strata fees, $200 for property taxes. This unit is almost cash flow neutral, not factoring in mortgage principal repayment. Over the last 15 years, I've made a number of videos on the topic of the smaller the better in terms of cash flow when it comes to condos. I know studios and one bedrooms are getting a lot of negative media attention right now. In Toronto and Vancouver, people feel like developers built too many studios and one bedrooms. But in terms of cash flow, we're talking $300,000 purchase, renting for $1,650. I see lots of units on Facebook Marketplace, downtown Victoria, Vic West. Some of these units are worth $1 million market value, and they're only being advertised for $3,500 a month. So we're talking more than triple the market value or triple the purchase price, and they're barely renting for double what this unit is renting for, which brings me back to the videos I've made over the last 15 years. Typically for cash flow, maybe not appreciation, the smaller the better. You're always going to be closer to cash flow neutral or more cash flow positive the smaller the condo is. I've always bought units downtown Victoria or in Vic West because even though I prefer small, I prefer to buy in quality buildings in a good location. So is it possible to buy something cash flow neutral right now? I don't think quite cash flow neutral. It's getting close there. But back to my overarching topic, for it to be close to cash flow neutral, it has to be very small. Also, these condos, they're getting a lot of negative media attention in terms of size. I've had a number of tenants in this condo. One tenant, after a year of living here, I helped him buy a place. Another tenant was able to open a business that was successful. He ended up buying a larger place. It's a good stepping stone, in my opinion. A lot of people online will say, well, it's impossible to live in 392 square feet. I don't know. I personally think if it's the right location and it's a nice, clean unit, that there's nothing wrong with one person or even a couple living in a condo this small for a year or two until they move on to something else. That's it for this week. Marko, Juras, Fair Realty.